Player 2 has joined the game.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 303. We're not even doing it in person. Sean, I can't see you. Hold on. Episode 303 of the Two Player Co-op podcast. Oh, what up, 303? Oh,
what is
God.
it actually? Oh, 212.
212. What up, 212? I just did 222. Okay. If this is the first time you're ever seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op podcast. We're just about every week, except for last week and the next week. Two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. If you only listen on audio services, that's cool too. Just leave us a thumbs up, 5-star review, or whatever your service allows.
Question.
Yes.
Aren't we missing the next 2 weeks? Because you're gone and then I'm gone.
I was going to see if James could jump in.
Oh.
So that's what I'm just saying. We may be off for 2 weeks, depending on James's schedule, but Sean and I will not be together for 3 weeks now or whatever it'll be. But yeah, we'll get to that. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, where for just $1, you become a booster where you can get the podcast live 1 day early on YouTube. $3 and all these stack. $3 makes you a sponsor where you get a bonus episode every month. $5 makes you a producer where you can watch us record the podcast live here on YouTube. $10 makes you an affiliate where you get a monthly Q&A episode. $20 makes you a partner where you can choose the bonus episode topic and record with us if you so choose. Some of our patrons deserve a shout out, just like our affiliates. James Solar, make sure you check out James Games and More on YouTube. He's been doing a lot of Let's Plays over there. It's really good. Check him out if you have not already. Sarah Solar, John Tingley, Derek Bamford, and Mom. Dun, 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 dun. It doesn't work as well when you're not here.
Nope.
Also, our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, Dustin Downs, and Chris Peralta. Also, check out PS Rewind on YouTube. If you like cool t-shirts and the like, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop. So, as Sean alluded to, a little bit of a schedule update. So we didn't do a podcast last week because the last episode that we did was so late in the week that we're like, God of War Ragnarok. Well, let me just say this. Sorry, I screwed that up. Ragnarok is coming. Ragnarok is now here. I don't know if it's here in the game. No spoilers. If you post any spoilers in the comments, I'm just going to delete you. I'm going to report you to YouTube and all that.
So we will be talking, obviously, God of War. There will be, I'll say no spoilers. I mean, there may be the most minor
there might be
spoilers if you really want to go in completely blind, but we promise we won't spoil anything that you would not want spoiled.
Correct. And don't post anything. Because if you do, you suck and I hate you and I'll ban you if I can. But so as Sean alluded to, this weekend, I am leaving Friday to drive down to New Orleans and go on a cruise with the whole family, all 6 of us. Very much looking forward to it. We were supposed to go in July, but my 12-year-old got COVID, so we couldn't go, so we had to delay it. And now COVID doesn't matter, which is good. So if we get sick, whatever, who cares? We've all been sick this past week, actually. I was puking my guts out on Friday, a few days ago. But not anymore, so that's good. So I'm going to be gone all next week, and then as soon as I get back, Sean leaves on a cruise himself with Brittany and their daughter. So the 2 of us will not be able to talk video games. I hope we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But like the fact that I'm probably not going to be able to beat God of War before I leave is going to kill me, because I'm sure I'm going to get
is I think I'm getting kind of sort of towards the end game. I will definitely have it be over the next day or two, I would think. But I'm not going to be able to talk about it on here for like 3 weeks.
Right. And then you're going to forget everything.
Probably. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm going to be cruising the Caribbean. Where are you? Are you going to the same places that we are? I can't remember.
We're going to Costa Maya, Belize, Cozumel, and Isla Roatan in Honduras.
We're going to Belize, Cozumel, Isla Roatan, or however you say it, and then another place that I can never remember.
Is it not Costa Maya? Because that's our 4th one.
Probably. I don't know. That like I can never remember what the hell it is. So yeah. So we definitely will not have an episode next week. I feel like, you know, I don't like missing weeks, but also this is kind of the best time to miss them because this is when everything kind of just completely slows down. It's like being in the summer. My assistant is here to get me more water because I'm having cotton mouth. Thank you, assistant. Just water, no ice. I got enough ice. Thank you, assistant. Okay. Gotta love 14-year-olds. So yeah, no episode next week. I will try to do an episode the week after. James, if you're out there. So we'll see what schedules are like and go from there. But also, like, I get back Sunday the 20, whatever that is. What's the Sunday after Thanksgiving?
4th.
24th?
The 4th. Oh,
No.
like the Sunday at the probably 27th.
5th, 6th, whatever. Yeah. So I get back then. I got to drive back to Memphis from New Orleans, and then I got to work the next day and catch up on emails since I will have no access to email, which is amazing. But I will try to have an episode that Monday night, but maybe it'll be Tuesday. Just don't count on it. Thank you, assistant. Love you. And now he's shooting baskets. Okay. He made it. Okay. Noah made it. So yeah, the schedule, we've talked about it on previous episodes, but the schedule for this next couple of weeks is going to be crazy. After that, we're back to normal. But just heads up for that. It's going to be a lot of fun for me and the family. And I know Sean and his family are going to have fun too. So it's much needed. Trust me. I have such a headache as I'm recording this, which just makes me think of how much it's needed. But yeah, I hate that we're going to miss a week, but life gets in the way. Yeah. What if I make spoilers up? John, no, because whatever you make up is probably going to be right. I just saw that. I don't like it one bit. No fake spoilers in the chat. No, nothing. Unless you say that Nathan Drake comes out and kills Kratos with an axe. Then
I thought you weren't that far yet.
Now I have to transition from that into something serious before we get into God of War Ragnarok. Sean sent me this. One of my other buddies sent me it a few days ago. Was it Friday or Saturday? I can't remember. But
Saturday.
I think it was Saturday. Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, going all the way back to the animated series through Arkham Asylum, City, Arkham Knight. He didn't do it in whatchamacallit, Origins. I can't remember who did it there. It might have been the guy that did Red Dead Redemption 2. I can't remember. But he passed away at the age of 66. Like, terrible. I know that's not young, but it's way too young for someone like that. It's way too young for anybody to go, but for someone that is that like influential, important, like he is Batman to me. Like I know I say my favorite Batman is probably Batfleck in BVS. No matter what you think about that movie, I loved his interpretation of Batman. Not in Justice League, either of them. But when I think of Batman, if I think of Batman talking, I will always think of Kevin Conroy because he was and is Batman forever. Like not Batman forever. Ah, damn it.
That was Val Kilmer.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. But it sucks, man. Like it's gonna be so it just sucks. It sucks. Like when you sent me this and my buddy sent me it, I was like, no, it's gotta be a hoax. That's not real. That's not real. And then I went on Twitter and was like, oh God, it's definitely real. It just, man, it sucks. Like he has been Batman. He has been the voice of Batman in my head since 90. When did the animated series come out? 93, maybe 94,
something like that.
So it sucks. Any thoughts, Sean?
No, I mean, it's terrible. I was doing something. What was I doing? I was doing something that day. No, if it was Saturday. Oh, that was when Brittany and I went out for dinner. We saw Nate Bargatze. I know I don't want to talk about a comedian right now. This is the sad part of the podcast, but we were out and about. And so I didn't check my phone for a while. And then when I saw it, by the time I saw it on Twitter, like everybody was posting about it. Like, so I was pretty sure by that point it was not, a hoax. Because everybody was talking about it by that point. So yeah, that sucks. Like you said, it's not super young, but definitely way too young.
I hate it. Like, I don't know that we're ever going to get another actual Arkham game, but if we do, actually, let me look this up right now. Arkham Origins voice cast. Let's see. IMDb. Here we go. All right, let's see. So who played Batman in this? Because they did a good job. Let's see. Hold on. Bear with me. Writing credits, blah, blah, blah. Bane, Black Mask, blah, blah, blah. Where's the Batman? Troy Baker was Joker. I know that. Where the frick is the Batman? Ugh. Control F. BATM. Okay, yeah. Next. I was right. Roger Craig Smith. Okay. So that was the guy that did RDR2. He was Marston, or not Marston, whatever the character is in that. I don't know why I bought that game. Eventually I'll play it, I guess. But he did a really good job, but still, like, gosh, Batman will always be Kevin Conroy in my mind. And I just RIP, love, prayers, thoughts, everything to his family and all of his fans. Like, man, I saw everybody on gaming Twitter just so sad, and for good reason. He was one of the GOATs, for sure. So RIP Kevin Conroy, you will be missed more than you know. Sean, anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Who are you saying you saw? I've never heard that name.
Nate Bargatze. He's a stand-up comic. He's from Nashville. I think he's maybe one of my favorite, like, he's way up there. I think he's hilarious. And he's kind of like Brian Regan, or even like
I was going to say Brian Regan. Okay.
He's very clean. He's not like it's something you could watch with your kids. Like I think he's hilarious. Yeah, we saw him at the Orpheum Saturday night.
Okay. Sean, have you played anything this week other than the big one?
Well, not this week, but last week.
Well, you know what I mean. for this episode, jackass.
I finished. I didn't finish, but I beat Dragon Quest 11.
Nice.
Still got some work to do for the platinum. What I like about it, and I don't think this is like unheard of because I know it's been done before, but like I beat the game. And it's not like, oh yeah, you can just keep playing to clean up trophies. There's like, it's almost like there's more story. Like you haven't gotten the true ending yet. And so it's like, here's the ending, roll credits, whatever. But if you want the real ending, you got to keep going and there's more stuff you have to do. So, I mean, that's what I'm doing just to get the platinum anyway, but
nice.
That's been put on the back burner for now, but
okay.
I liked it. It was really good game.
I can't even remember because you've been talking about it for a few weeks now. The battle system is, and I don't even know the difference, but like active or whatever.
It's passive.
Okay.
I would
so
say.
You have all the time you need to.
You have unlimited time.
Okay.
Yeah. When it's your turn, you can really just be like, okay.
So this is a turn-based game that I could actually maybe play.
Yeah, and what's nice for some of the boss battles, you don't want to do it, but what's nice is it's not as sophisticated as the Final Fantasy 12 Gambit system. But if you don't want to control anybody but your main character, or even if you don't want to control your main character, there's I think they call it tactics, which oddly enough,
weird.
And you basically say, you can say follow orders, which means you get to control what they do. Okay. Or you can do like fight wisely, which is like just be smart, don't waste all your magic, heal if you need to, blah blah blah. Or you can say like, I don't remember what it's called, but basically like, balls to the wall basically and just go all out, whatever. And so for the most part, other than a few of the like tough bosses, I just say fight wisely. I control my main character, but I just let all the other characters just kind of do whatever. And so it just speeds everything up and it makes it so you don't have to like pay a whole lot of attention through it and everything. But yeah, I like it a lot. I think for a modern but old school like turn-based RPG, I don't know that there's anything better than this game. So
see, so I'm wondering because what they've said, so Dragon Quest 12, I think it's the next one, or it could be 14. I can't keep track if there was MMOs.
No, I think 11 is the last one, other than like builders and all that crap.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 12 has not happened yet, or I don't even know if it's been announced, but I'm sure it's coming.
It has, but what they're saying is they're going to take it somehow. They're going to take it in a new direction. It's going to be more adult or something. I don't know if it's like the whole Witcher is adult, Zelda, whatever thing. So some people are nervous about that, and I don't know. But did you get this on extra or premium? Do you remember?
I kind of want to say just extra.
I think it's
I don't
extra.
think it's I don't think it's on the top tier.
Because the top tier is freaking pointless. We'll get to that here later. I'm almost intrigued, but like obviously I've got God of War. I still got to go back and beat Modern Warfare, but
you could pick it up and play it, and within 20 minutes know if it's for you or not. You may play it and be like, nope,
delete
I
it
just
or no.
don't like turn-based. But
is it
it could be worth a shot?
Is it easier than Octopath Traveler? Because I played the demo for that and I was like, I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm doing. I die in the demo. Like I'm like, but that's not.
I mean,
passive.
I think it's a better game.
Yeah.
You see, I don't really remember how Octopath was, but this is, I think that's you just not really knowing how to do turn-based games. Like a lot of times you'll have characters that can maybe like hit one enemy. You can hit one person really hard, or you can hit a lot of enemies less hard. And there's a lot of, if you can eliminate an enemy on a turn, you should probably do it. Like if you've got 4 tough enemies, you don't want to be hitting them all for a little bit of damage. because then all 4 of them are alive until they're all dead. You kind of want to pick them off one by one. So, okay. Yeah, now that guy's dead, okay, now I only have 3 people attacking me. Now once I kill that one, okay, now there's only 2. And it's just, you have to just think as a passive turn-based RPG player. And I don't know, it takes a little getting used to. I think the mechanics are super simple. They're very straightforward, very easy.
And is your party, is it 3 people?
4.
Okay.
You and 3 others.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's, if you're looking for something new to play, whatever, and you got a half hour to spare, fire it up and
just try it.
See if you like it. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Not besides the big one.
All right, let's talk about the big one. God of War Ragnarok. We will not spoil anything story-wise, period. There might be some little tiny spoilers that we talk about, but it's nothing that's like, it's nothing that's a big deal. We're not going to spoil any of the story. Apparently, Sean is twice as far in the game as I am. But just right off the bat, Sean, what do you think of God of War? I don't know, God of War Ragnarok. And as a sidebar, how does it compare to 2018? The second part of that question, I don't know how to answer yet. I will say that.
So at the risk of feeding the trolls, it is obviously very, very similar to the first one.
Yep.
But like,
that's a good thing.
Who cares? Yeah. Yep. Like that's not a bad thing. People who are just trying to call it DLC, obviously you're just being stupid and trolly and whatever. But it is very similar to the first one. Looks a little better. They've added definitely some new gameplay elements and stuff. But I mean, at its core, it's still very much God of War 2018. I think I like it better, but you liked the first one better than I did. And so I tell you what, I definitely like it better than when I started going back through 2018 to maybe try to get the platinum. I definitely like it better than that, but I think that's because, well,
you already played.
It's not new anymore. I already know. Yeah, I'm like, I already know what happens, and I don't know. I'm definitely liking it. I don't think it will happen, but I will at least say it's got a chance to be my game of the year. I think it's really got to like stick the landing. It's not perfect. It's still got the map issues of the first one. I don't know why they can't just give you a real map.
But it is different,
right? Honestly, the map,
like I haven't used the map.
I don't really remember. I feel like the map as it is not awful. All you have to be able to do, and I think it would make a world of difference, if you could just zoom in a little closer so you can actually make sense of like the terrain and what you're looking at, and all the icons aren't like stacking up like
Elden Ring.
If you could just zoom in, like, I don't know, if you can zoom to like right now 200%, if you could zoom to like 400%, I think it would be completely fine. Not great, but totally fine. So the map, it is what it is. That's the only real negative I can say about it. I think everything else has been awesome. I mean, I'm definitely hooked. I'm to the point now where I think I am getting towards like I feel like everything's kind of crescendoing now. Like I feel like I'm getting towards the end game,
Ragnarok.
the end game. Like yeah. So now they could throw something at me, and, you know, totally swerve everything. But like I feel like I'm getting towards like the end part of the game. So I'm curious to see. There's some parts where I'm like, I think the voice acting is fantastic. I think Thor is awesome. Now that you said it, I agree with you. It does sound like Josh Brolin.
But he also sounds like David Harbour or something.
To me, I hear Josh Brolin. Now that you mention it, that's like all I can hear. I think he's awesome. I think Odin is awesome.
Oh, you know who he is?
It. Who?
He is oh God, not Gennaro, but the guy that went along with Vince Vaughn in The Lost World. The bald guy.
Oh, I can picture him. Okay. Yeah, now that you mentioned that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could definitely hear that.
Okay, so Thor is Ryan Hurst.
Ryan Hurst. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Jason was saying he's in Sons of Anarchy, I think it was. I looked him up and he's been in a bunch of stuff, but nothing I've really watched. There's nothing that I'm like, oh, that's where I know him from. But he's been in a lot of stuff.
Richard Schiff is Odin.
Okay, I'd have to look him up, but I think I know who you're talking about. But yeah, I don't know. I'm absolutely loving it. It's I mean, what is it? Last of Us Part 1 obviously is up there too. This game is no worse than my number 3 for the year, and it's got a chance to be number 1. I don't think it'll happen. It's probably gonna end up 2, but I don't know if it really sticks the ending here. I don't know. It could be number 1. The only thing I will say, and this is just a personal preference, it's nothing against the game. It's nothing. I obviously I compare it to Elden Ring just because it's a huge game and it's in the running for Game of the Year. So I'm going to compare it to Elden Ring.
Right.
Even though they're completely different. In Elden Ring, anytime I get to go to like a new area, it's just like, oh, this is awesome. The world is my oyster. I can't wait to just go and like explore. In God of War, and I think part of it is because I'm trying to get the platinum and, you know, I'm just trying to do everything. Not that I wasn't in Elden Ring, but like in God of War, it's usually like when I go to a new realm, I'm just, part of me is just like,
oh, more snow. Okay.
All right. Where am I going? Like, and again, I think it partially boils down to the map. And I'm just like, I get like overwhelmed so quickly when I'm in a new area because I'm just like, where am I supposed to go? And like, I don't know. That's the one thing that like Elden Ring, I always had a good experience whenever I went somewhere new. Yeah. God of War, whenever I'm in a new area, it's more like, oh God, here we go. But
okay, so I was telling you before we started recording about the area that I was in and the side quest that I got stuck in. And
yeah,
I've got to do the whole throw the axe against the purple stones to get it to bounce and somehow hit these 3 friggin' heart, contra heart things, whatever.
Yeah.
But I went there and I died at these elves 3 or 4 times. I finally went there and I was like, okay, I'm going to pick them off. I'm going to throw the axe. I'm going to do this. Boom, boom. By the way, this game is difficult no matter what difficulty you play it.
I was going to ask, what difficulty are you playing?
Easy. Whatever the like below story? Medium. No. The Grace. One Grace, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm on.
This game is difficult.
And I don't feel ashamed. It's definitely no, it's
I don't care.
I was just telling James on our private Discord. I just got to like I've definitely died here and there throughout, but I just got to a like an optional boss and died, I don't know, 10 or 15 times to the point where I'm like, I'm just done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'll come back and do it later. But
are they that Valkyries? Was the first time. I mean, I assume they're not Valkyries. Okay.
No, but I assume unless this is just like a one-off thing, I assume it's that's kind of what it feels like. Now, I never did the Valkyries in the first one.
Yeah, because you're a wuss.
But this certainly seems like it's that kind of thing.
So
it's tough. It's by far the hardest fight I've had so far. Yeah. I just feel like I'm getting whooped so bad that I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be trying to beat him yet. So
also, I think I'm still at level 1. I don't think I'm even at level 2 yet, which might be just because I'm mainlining it. But like, I see like these dark elves show up that are level 3, and I'm like, they've got purple health bars. I'm like, well, this is. But see,
I don't think you really level up in this, or if you do.
You do.
I don't think I have. You can level up your equipment, like
no, weapons, but it's just as you do stuff, you'll if you hit the touchpad, you'll see you're level 1 and you're this close to level 2 or whatever.
Are you? It actually says that?
Yeah, up in the top left.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll I guess maybe I need to check and see where I'm at. But
like,
yeah, you can upgrade your weapons, you can upgrade your armor, you can unlock new abilities, you can find more things, give you more health or more rage bars, stuff like that. But I didn't know you actually had just an actual level too.
Yeah.
But
I got to this part, these dark elves. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So I was listening to Game Scoop over the weekend. They lost an episode, so they had to re-record it. That's never happened to us. But never. Sam Claiborne was saying, he said something and I was just like, Michael Scott, boom, thank you. He was saying that he loves the combat because what has happened to him, and this has happened to me too, is like, you're just like, oh, I come up on these bad guys. I'm go, foom, foom. I'm not paying attention. And this guy's here. And Mimir's like, behind you, bro. And then you're like, okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden you're dead. And he's like, what the hell just happened? And then he goes back and he's like, okay, I need to focus. And then you're like, bam, 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 boom, switch to the Blades of Chaos here. Dodge this way, do this, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden you kill him. And you're like, well, yeah, I didn't lose any health. It's like, what he was saying summed it up so perfectly for me, is that like the combat in this game is so freaking good. He compared it to Gotham Knights. If you like Gotham Knights, I don't care. I haven't played it. Probably not going to play it. But what he was saying is that like in Gotham Knights, it's mindless. You just square, 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 triangle, square, 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 triangle. This is like, you have to pay attention to the combat. You have to look at the arrows going each way, and by John, and you have to figure out who's coming from where. And if it's red or if it's yellow, if it's red, you got to dodge. You got to look if you're looking at somebody and they got the red circle on them, you better get out of the way. If they got a yellow, then you can try to parry it. I suck at parrying in every game.
That's the one thing I pretty much never use my shield. And I think maybe that's why this boss keeps kicking my butt. I dodge a lot, but I rarely just use my shield or try to parry.
I use my shield, but I cannot parry for the life of me. I've in no game. This is why I've never played Sekiro, because I'm like, if the main point of this game is like parry and attack, I've got no chance. I'm done. There's just no hope for me. But like the combat in this is so good. Also, I will say this. So let me go through my notes here. I think this is I'm not going to say the best, but one of the best looking games I've ever seen. So I'm playing it on performance mode, 60 frames per second. It looks like 2018 God of War, just cranked up a notch. The character models are amazing. Kratos, Atreus, Freya.
One thing I will say,
Thor,
and I want to see
Odin.
if you notice this too.
Oh God! Wait, let me say it. Nope. Because I think you're going to say the same thing that I did. Towards the beginning of the game, there's a dream sequence, and the person in that dream sequence looks like it's on a PS3. NPC. Yes.
Okay, you notice I'm like, what's happening here?
I wrote it right here. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to spoil it. But
to my game.
Okay.
And so I wonder, obviously I'm well past that point, but I wonder if that was like a dread. It just seems like I agree. The game looks beautiful, but that one person just looks terrible. They don't really move right. Their face was so out of place. Generic, and
it was like Fallout 4 or something. Like it looked like a Bethesda game. Not to hate on, Xbox Studios or anything, but I was like, man, this looks good. And then I was like, oh, what the frick? Where did you come from? You came from the PS2? Like, so I don't know what happened there, but I knew that's what you're going to say. I thought the same thing.
Yep.
The snow looks amazing. I think it even looks better than the last game. And there's a lot of it now. Also, the opening to this game, no spoilers. That whole first hour from the dog sled to the mini boss fight to that meeting that is just talking to the first real boss fight, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And when those two weapons hit in the air and froze, I was like, I don't know how they're going to top this. Obviously they're going to top it as the game goes on, but I don't know how. But like, I feel like I almost feel like so far they're doing the set piece battles. Again, I'm only 8.5, 9 hours in. I almost feel like they're doing the set piece battles better than 2018 did. 2018 had the stranger and the dragon and the final boss fight is all that I remember. This, I'm like, within the first hour, I've gotten 2 or 3 crazy like set piece battles that I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. And that mini boss fight, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, and then when you beat that boss, I'm like, what the frick? I thought it was the other thing, not this thing. What is happening?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the hair also not as good as Aloy's hair in that dream. Not even close.
That is correct.
Also, I will say this, just trigger warning, whatever. If you love animals like I do and Sean does, it's a rough first hour. I'll just say that. It is really rough. Oh, I love how in the first real boss fight, it was like a fourth wall break.
Oh,
because I was like,
Kojima.
I was like, what the hell? I'm
right. I was like, man, how did I screw that up?
I was like, man, I can't punch anything. And then it's like, oh, not yet. I'm like, oh, good job, Sony Santa Monica. Good job. Brock and Sindri are back. Thank God. These guys are so good. And I will say this, no spoilers, but it seems like, I don't know, Sean, you can tell me as you get further in, but so far where I'm at, Sindri is kind of, at least in the early goings, a big piece of the story.
They play a bigger role in this, and you get to learn more about them, I'll say. They're not just kind of like comedic relief, I guess, which they kind of were in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very good.
Also, I'm going through my notes here. It was a big deal in the first game. No one talks about it now because it's like, okay, you already did that. Who cares? Whatever. The no-cut camera is still, it just blows my mind. Still.
There's been a couple times where something's happening and I'm like, how are they gonna no cut and get out of this? And so far they've always done it. I mean, they've done a little trickery here and there, but yeah, I love it. I was hoping they were gonna do that again.
What else here? Oh, there's a lot more enemy variety in this game. From the frogmen.
I wondered about that. It seemed that way to me, but I wasn't sure if maybe I just couldn't remember from the first one. But yeah, I agree.
It seemed like everything in the first one was the Draugrs or the elves, and then a couple other things. Now already I'm only, like I said, 8-9 hours in. I've got the Draugrs, I've got people trying to fight me, I've got frogmen, I've got light elves, the dark elves. Those elves suck, by the way.
They're tough, yeah.
Especially when they can just go
that I'll keep getting to that seem like they're just a regular old enemy, and then all of a sudden I'm getting my butt kicked. Like, the game is definitely difficult. I will say that.
Even on the difficulty that we're playing on. What do you think about the combat? Because the only negative thing I could say about the combat is something that I had forgotten about the first game, because I didn't, when I started playing it again, I just needed the hard drive space, so I deleted it. I didn't play through it again. It's almost like Kratos has too many moves.
That's how I feel about a lot of these games. Like Horizon did it. This does it. I'm trying to, there's another one. Maybe I'm just thinking of Horizon. And, I'm probably thinking of God of War 2018 when I went back to it. But I'm like, there's so many moves and stuff that I can unlock. And it's like, yeah, some of them are cool, but I'm not going to remember that I've got all these in my back pocket. I just like, oh, that was a cool combo, or that's a cool move if I hold L1 and hit R2. Like, but I use like 10% of my repertoire in these games. And I'm just like, I don't care. I'll unlock everything if I have to for like a trophy or whatever. But I'm like, I'm never going to use all these things.
Yep. I agree. Also, the R3 kills I wrote down here are brutal. Like, now I know there's only like 2 per enemy, but also you've got 2 different weapons, so you've really got 4 per enemy. But some of these, he's like,
when he just goes, like, you're not cutting their head off. You cut like
your
head and like arm. Oh god, yeah.
Or like brutal. He'll knock him down and be like, bam, bam, and then their body just goes. Oh, it's so good. Casey was watching me play it, and I was like, I know they're not people, but I feel like I'm a bad dad right now. I don't know, but he's only 8. Not a spoiler, but Atreus, when he tried to open the chest, I literally laughed out loud.
Yep.
One of my favorite characters from the first game is back. He's big. He has scales.
Yep.
I was just like, and when it was like, I was like, I don't know if he comes back ever again, but also at some point you go back to the Valkyrie Council, which means nothing to you because you didn't want to fight Sigrun because you're a little
it's not
wuss.
that I didn't want to fight her. I didn't want to get the platinum the first time. And then the second time when I went to go back and get the platinum, maybe that was when Last of Us came out. So then I stopped playing that and got into something else. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Red Dead for 2 hours.
I'm enjoying this enough that I may still go back and get the platinum on the first one. I don't know. I haven't completely written it off yet.
Oh, how many Ravens have you gotten? I got my 5th.
I've gotten a decent amount.
I got my 5th out of like 48.
There's 48. I think I'm at like 22 or 23.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I've got the even though sometimes it gets annoying, I've got the captions on. And what's nice is if there's a raven around, it says raven croaking in parentheses. I'm like, oh, I didn't hear anything, but thanks. And then I'll start looking for them. And so
I got to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Turn that on because it's a big help. I can think of at least 3 to 5 that I've come across according to the captions and not killed because I either A, couldn't find them, or B, found them, but they're like circling in the sky. I'm like, well, I can't hit them from here. I don't know where I'm supposed to go to get to where I can kill them. But I've gotten 90% of at least the ones that I've
seen
gotten close to. Yeah. So I've gotten a majority of them. But yeah, I'm sure I've missed quite a few.
That's one that just reminded me of something. That's one thing that I really like is that, like, if I come upon a, what are they called? Nornir chess or whatever, with the 3 letters, and I like throw the axe at a letter, Mimir's like, brother, I don't think we could do that yet. Let's come back later. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, I'll come back. All right, let's go.
You sounded like the merchant from Resident Evil 4.
I've got some things for sale, stranger. I don't know, big balls. But I like that Mimir's like, hey, don't waste your time. Also, Atreus has been that. Oh my God, when Atreus, there's one time where he's like, you're with another character, which I'm not going to spoil. And then he's like, the other character's like, where's your dad going? He's like, he just wants to grab everything. He really likes loot. Have you had that happen?
Yeah.
Oh my God. When that happened, I was like,
it happens more at that point in the game than any other point. There's some other times where you've got people with you and they'll be like, where's he going? Or what are you doing? And, but I think they do it more at that point than any other time.
Dude, I jumped down and I was like, dude, I can see the treasure chest. I'm going there. Shut your mouth. I'll be right back. I got it. The only thing I will say, some of the puzzles have been a little bit annoying. I can't remember if we said it on the air or before, but when you get to the point where I'm at in the game with the soul, not soul stone, because I know that's Twilight Stone. That's what they are, I think. Where you can bounce your axe off them. You got to cut, 15 things at once. I'm like, I was playing it for about an hour today in that side quest. And I got to this point and I was like, there's a thing I can lower and turn so I can bounce. But if I bounce it, it's not going to bounce off anything to actually hit these things and get to that Twilight Stone over there. I'm like, man, I really don't just want to go on YouTube for this game at all. But also, like, if I'm stuck in this stupid side quest, I want to do this side quest and be done with it. So I don't know. So the puzzles, for the most part, they've been okay, but this one is just pissing me off. I will say that. Have you run into that?
Most of them. Oh yeah, most of them. I think I probably know the exact part you're talking about. For the most part, they're not too bad. They're kind of forgiving, where it's like if you get your aim pretty close, once it turns blue, they're basically saying, "All right, just throw it. We'll take it from here."
Well, but see, mine goes blue.
There's some tricky parts where you got to like turn something or raise it or lower it or move something else out of the way. But usually once it turns blue, it's like, you know, that whatever you're trying to accomplish with that throw will happen. Like there's not a whole lot of tweaking. Once it turns blue, I feel like it does the same thing. If it doesn't work, it's because something is not high enough or low enough or turned the right way or whatever. Okay. But it's like,
because that's where I'm at right now, is that it turns blue, but it just cuts through two of the things. James, what's up? It turns blue, and I throw it off the Twilight Stone. It hits it, and it cuts through two things, and then they go, and there's like three more somehow I got to hit. And I'm like, there's a Twilight Stone way over there, and there's this thing that I've lowered, and I've turned it around, and I've tried aiming it. No matter what I do, it's purple. And then I just like, oh, it's frustrating, but
yeah,
I'll figure it out. I will say this game is easily top 2 for me. Now, I don't
see, for me, it's easily top 3, probably top 2, maybe number 1. I'm not there yet, but it could happen.
So this is where I get so conflicted. Like Elden Ring, Kevin, just get better at the game. Shut up, James. Love you. Elden Ring is like nothing I've ever played before. God of War isn't. But God of War 2018 is also one of my favorite games of all time. So when I see this through all the way to the end and I see how the story plays out and all that, I don't know what I'm going to think. But so far, 8-9 hours in, I just think that, and it's probably because part 1 is a remake, re-release, remaster, whatever you want to call it. This is top 2 for sure. If the story,
I think this game is more fun than The Last of Us.
Yeah.
But The Last of Us, like we said when we covered that, has maybe the best story from a video game ever.
Agreed.
And so that's where I'm kind of at with this. I don't think it's going to surpass Elden Ring in terms of just overall experience. It might in terms of like actual gameplay, like mechanics and stuff. And it's already got the story. I mean, Elden Ring, nobody's playing Elden Ring for the story. So whether this ends up 3, 2, or 1 in my personal rankings, it's going to come down to how the story plays out, I think.
Yeah, because the gameplay is what it is. It's God of War 2018 perfected from a gameplay standpoint. I just don't know. The story so far is freaking awesome. I just hope it stays that way, I guess.
That's another thing. Comparing it to 2018, obviously we already talked about the map enough. The map, it is what it is. I like that you can go to all of the realms in this. They're not like, yeah, here's some of them, but don't worry about those other ones. You can't go there. Like, I like that you can go to all of them. And I like that they got rid of the stupid, like
the turn the big
maybe
wheel
it got
thing.
Better in 2018. Yeah. But where I got to in my partial replay of 2018, I was just as confused as I was the first time. I'm like, this doesn't seem like it needs to be this complicated and this involved just to fast travel, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, now it's just you just find a door.
Little better in this one.
You find a door, you go to the tree of Yargadzidzel, whatever it's called, and then you go and then you go there.
I hope they do.
James, you're getting close to spoilers there, bud. Chill.
I hope they do something that I hope they do something that I'm hoping they're going to do. I'll just leave it at that. Just
I don't know what that means, but I will say I can't. Thor, I can picture fighting. I can't picture fighting Odin in this.
Right.
He's just Odin. He's like Trump or something. He's just like pulling all the strings and he's doing all this. He's got his ravens and all this crap. Like,
well, he's almost like he reminds me of
I know, James. I know.
Zemo in Civil War or something. Like, nobody's afraid of him, but yeah, he's this weird like mastermind in the background.
That's good.
One other thing that like I'm going to get this platinum. I don't care. But there are so many trophies that are like hidden or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to. No,
I'm not clicking anything until I beat it. Yep.
Yeah. I'm afraid I'm going to read a trophy I'll like,
oh, PSA
defeated zombie Zeus or whatever. I'm like, I didn't want to know that. Like, obviously that's not going to happen, but I'm like,
well,
I don't want to
never know
any of them.
It could.
And so I'm like doing stuff in the game and I'm like, I hope I'm not wasting my time doing this because it seems like this is probably going to be for a trophy, but I don't actually want to check and then have something spoiled for me. So I kind of just want to get to the end of the story and beat the game so I can then go back and look, all right, what do I actually have to do now to get the trophies? But yeah, I did look up. Nothing's missable. Nothing's tied to difficulty. Nothing like that. So there's that at least. But yeah,
just a PSA because that just you just reminded me. If you go to if you don't just click God of War in your XMB home screen, whatever you want to call it, and say play, if you go down to like news and all this crap, I saw Push Square tweeted out that like some of those videos are spoiling God of War Ragnarok for people on their freaking PS5. So don't do that.
Oh, that's stupid.
So just
I won't
click it and play it and don't ever tap down. Because apparently that's spoiling the game for people. And I'm like, what the hell, Sony? Sony is so Sony, like, wow. But it's a 94 on Metacritic. I think it's warranted so far. Also, some other quick news items here. God of War 2018 has now sold over 23 million copies between PS4 and PC, which is amazing. Ragnarok is going to break records. I'm sure the next time we talk or James and I talk or whatever, we're going to have some crazy sales results for Ragnarok because the UK physical sales in one day were higher than all of God of War 2018 sales in 1 week, counting physical and digital. And we don't even know how well they did on digital. So this game is going to be a monster. This is why I'm like, Sony, just give them Activision. Who cares? They don't make anything.
Yeah, we're going to be fine
on this level. There's no Diablo 4, Modern Warfare 7, Black Ops 6. Like nobody cares. Like they're going to come here. Who cares? Like you have the market cornered on the best games, period. No matter what I think of Last of Us Part 2, that game is a technical masterpiece that nothing Microsoft has done has ever come close to. No matter what you think about the story, it's not even close. Sony has to just bank on that. And we're going to talk about Activision here in a little bit because we can't just go a week without freaking talking about this stupid thing. But like, when I see this, I'm like, who cares? Let them have whatever. I mean, not Capcom. Just take Activision. Who cares? Bethesda, go make Doom 3 and screw the composer out of more money and all that. Good luck with that, Bethesda and Microsoft. But any final thoughts, Sean, before we move on?
No, again, I'm just kind of upset that I'll beat it in the next day or two and then I won't get to talk about it for a long time, but I'll try to take some notes and capture my thoughts. There's one part that I kind of want to mention. I mean, it's not really spoilery at all. I could do it in a non-spoiler way, but I don't want to say something and then somebody get to that part. Yeah, I won't. But there's one part that happened and I thought it was very clever and funny, but
that's what I thought about. Is it anything similar to that first main boss fight? because I thought that was clever and funny.
It's
like fourth wall.
Kind of. I would put it, and it's kind of a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. It's not as, I don't know, meta obvious as that, but it's kind of in the same vein, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say Rock. And I'll leave it at that.
Paper.
Not The Rock. Not Dwayne Johnson. Like,
oh my God, if he showed up, I would lose my mind. If Rock shows up and he's like, oh, Ares is back. I am in Norse now. I've come for you, Kratos, with my big red fire hair. It's The Rock. That would be amazing. God of War Ragnarok is awesome. I cannot wait to keep playing it. I want to take my time. I want to not be spoiled. It's everything I wanted it to be so far. Is it better than Elden Ring? I don't know. I don't know that it can be, honestly. I know we've kind of already spoiled all year our top 10 game, well, our game of the year list. But man, I mean, maybe it just blows me away, but also, so that's the thing. Well, we'll talk about it when we get there. Never mind. God of War Ragnarok is freaking awesome. Play it if you have not already. Get a PS5. Play it on that. Apparently it runs fine on PS4, but it sounds like a friggin' F-16 is taking off in your house. But
there are some parts, and again, I won't spoil anything, where there's an obvious, it's kind of like the thing where you
James
where you're squeezing through a crack to like hide the loading
again, because it's on PS4, right?
No, I know, but there's some parts that are kind of sort of like that, but not, I don't know. I'm just wondering if the animations for these parts that I'm thinking of are maybe just drawn out on PS4. Actually, no, because there's parts that don't even really have that kind of thing going on. I'm curious as how that would work on PS4, and I can't really say anything, but there's parts that I'm almost like, that's almost like, what do you call it? Rift Apart. That obviously would not work on PS4 without like loading screens. I'm like, how did they just do that? Well, I know how they do it, but how did they do that on PS4? And I'll probably never know. But
well, when you go get the platinum on PS4,
there's a few of those parts.
You can tell me.
Yeah.
Get the platinum on the first one. I really hope this does make you want to go back and just, I cannot wait. If you do it, I cannot wait to get your thoughts on Sigrun, because that's still, it's not as hard as Melania. I'll say that.
Good.
But it's the second hardest boss fight I've ever had in a game. Like I said, I sat there for 2.5 to 3 hours straight, dying, trying to learn the patterns. Oh, and I was playing it on easy, not the easiest, but like whatever we're playing, like Grace, whatever it was back then. Yeah. Like, and I still was just like, she'd just take her freaking heel and I'm dead. I'm like, well, okay, all right, I'll try it again, I guess. It's so good. God of War Ragnarok is freaking amazing. It's everything I wanted it to be. Maybe more, but we'll see. Sean.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That was good. I don't think we're that delayed, but I think you just didn't realize what I was doing. You want to get to the news of the week?
Let's do it.
All right, Sean. Even though we haven't podcasted in about a week and a half, it was a very slow week and a half for news as we wind down this year. But there's one or two items that I want to talk about here. And the first one is this. Hideo Kojima has finally spoken on Abandon and Blue Box Game Studios. This comes from VGC. Hideo Kojima has spoken openly for the first time about the controversial indie title Abandon and the theory that he is involved in some way. Speaking on his Spotify podcast, Brain Structure, as part of a new episode featuring Jeff Keighley, during which the pair talked about gaming rumors, the Death Stranding director addressed the speculation that he was involved with Abandon, a horror game from developer Blue Box Studios. Quote, users just keep sending me pictures of this Hassan, Kojima told Keighley. Quote, they still send me collages and deep fake images like 20 a day. It's really quite a nuisance. Ha 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 ha. End quote. Aside from a brief teaser, virtually nothing from the game has been shown of Abandon. Despite repeated delays, a playable prologue, which Hassan claimed will fund the final game, has yet to materialize. While the connections to Hassan and Kojima has always been tenuous, that didn't stop a Reddit community from being born to track the supposed connections between the director and Hassan. Oh boy, the voice is going. r/the Blue Box Conspiracy, which at the peak of its popularity saw around 9,000 subscribers, documented every move made by Kojima or Hassan in an attempt to link the two. This went as far as users discovering that Hassan had previously developed an exercise app, the description of which listed it as a, quote, personal training PT app, end quote, which sent devotees of the subreddit into a panic over the idea that this was in fact a reference to PT, the canceled, then wiped from the storefront's teaser for Silent Hills, a reboot of the horror franchise that Kojima was once attached to the helm. Other supposed clues included Hassan playing a game on his PSN profile that isn't available on the PS Store. However, this was debunked as he could have been testing a product that hadn't been submitted for certification on his own account. Hassan appeared to play this mystery up, potentially because it was generating a significant amount of buzz for a completely unknown studio and a project that had essentially released nothing resembling gameplay or a final product. The studio did release an app that was reported to be some kind of prelude to the release of the prologue itself. However, in reality, users discovered that the app was essentially a screensaver made of publicly available assets. Quote, when we did that Moby Dick thing, you, Jeff, were in on the whole thing, and that was pretty fun. But people should know I wouldn't do the same thing twice, end quote, Kojima said in his podcast. The Moby Dick thing Kojima refers to as a fake studio that Kojima created before the announcement of Metal Gear Solid 5. Moby Dick Studios released a trailer for The Phantom Pain. However, eagle-eyed viewers of the trailer noticed that the logo for the fake game featured cutouts into which the words Metal Gear Solid 5 could fit. Oh, this is just making me go back to such happy times. Fans speculated the Blue Box Studios and Hassan could be further inventions of Kojima. Quote, I have never spoken with Hassan. The game is yet to be released. I don't think there's much he can do or say at this point. But if he releases the game, people might understand. So maybe he should just hurry up and release it, end quote. Hassan hasn't spoken publicly about the game in some time, and his tweets are currently protected. In April, Blue Box Game Studios tweeted asking fans if they wanted to see, quote, development footage of Abandoned Prologue. However, nothing came of this. I'm so over the Abandoned Blue Box everything right now.
Yeah, I kind of forgot all about it.
Kevin, what? I don't care. James, I thought you liked Washington. Am I crazy? Sorry, I'm just seeing that now because I was reading the article. I like that Kojima came forward and it's like, hey, Jeff, we did the Moby Dick Studios thing. That was fun, right? You were in on it. I wouldn't do that again. Also, like, I think it's been clear for a while. Like I went down the rabbit hole. I will say that. I mean, we had a whole episode where we dedicated like 20 minutes to talking about this and all the connections and everything. But it was never Kojima. I have a Washington football. I don't know what that. Okay. I'm pretty sure I saw you wear a Washington football team t-shirt or something. Okay. Anyways, I have a Washington football. That was James in the chat, by the way. Patreon.com/2playercoop. But yeah, what do you think of this? Like the fact that he's addressing it and saying that it was a nuisance. I'm like, good for you, Kojima.
I mean, he doesn't owe us anything. I think everybody's already moved on from Abandoned and Hassan and all that. But at the same time, it's like, you could have just come out and said this 9 months ago or whatever it was. Like, and like I said, he doesn't owe that to us. He probably just couldn't care less about this. And even if he did, people would be like, yeah, okay, Hideo, okay. Right. Like, I don't know, but it's fine. I mean, there's nothing to it. What I'm still curious about is it all a big coincidence, or was Hassan, there no partnership, no knowledge whatsoever of Hideo, was he trying to do this and then ended up getting in over his head? Or is it like a complete coincidence that, it's a PT game, and it just all seems too coincidental to me.
Honestly, what I think is that he made a physical therapy game. He started trying to make this game. And then once like they did that first teaser, like in the snowy woods and everything. Mm-hmm. Once that went out there and people were like, ooh, this looks like it could be Silent Hill. He was like, oh, okay. And then I think he leaned into that hardcore without having anything to back it up.
Yeah.
I don't think Abandon ever comes out. I don't even know that we're ever going to get the playable prologue, whatever you want to call it. I just don't think it's ever going to happen.
Playable teaser.
Yeah. I think he just he tried to create something. People thought it was something that it wasn't. He was like, ooh, let's leverage this. He got over his skis and then he just crashed down the mountain, is what I think.
Yeah.
Kojima also said that he has turned down many acquisition offers for ridiculous amounts of money and that he will be staying independent, quote, as long as I am alive, end quote. Him, not me. So don't get your hopes up of Sony or Microsoft buying Kojima Productions. And then I saw another article today that he's looking to get into not just movies, but music as well. Like, you do you. Can I just get Death Stranding 2? So, yeah. Anything else, Sean?
No.
McLaurin's on my fantasy team. I have a Washington football team shirt, but I only bought it because I thought it was funny. Okay. Well, there you go. Yes, because their name and the Washington football team is a better name than the Commanders. Like, what are we talking about?
What I will say,
okay,
Commanders, especially the black, like the all black uniforms, I think one of the best uniforms in football right now.
Well, yeah, because
when they wear the all black with like the red, I think those are awesome looking.
The maroon or whatever that color is with yellow is just like, ugh. It's always been gross.
But when you do the black instead of white, yeah, it looks awesome.
All black uniforms for any team I am supportive. Like when the Cardinals go all black, it looks awesome with the red. Like when the Falcons do too, with the red with the white outline and everything, it looks freaking awesome. I love all black uniforms.
Yeah.
And the last item on the news list, one of two of two. We got NPD results for October just today. When it comes to software sales in the US, guess what was number one, Sean? You can see it, so I'm not going to make you guess. Obviously, it was Modern Warfare 2. I will say I'm pretty much shocked to see that Gotham Knights came in at number 2, which tells me...
I mean, it's a slow time. I mean, what else would have? I'm guessing there's a pretty big gap
all these
between
sports
1
games.
and 2.
Well, yeah, but also it tells me that like if you put Gotham or Batman or Arkham or Knight or whatever in the title of a video game, people are going to walk into a store, they're going to see it, and they're going to be like, ooh, a Batman game, and buy it, not knowing that Batman's dead and this is 4 other jabronis and whatever. And the game is a 69 on Metacritic. I'm not saying that Metacritic is the end all be all, but it just tells you what I'm trying to say is that it tells you that like Metacritic does not determine critical success, does not determine commercial success, because with video games, you're always going to sell about 90% of your games in the first 2, 3, 4 weeks. And they've done that. So good for them. Hopefully they made their money back. I don't want WB Montreal to go out of business or anything like that. So I'm happy to see it at number 2, but I was surprised is what I would say.
Well, maybe they can use some of that money they made and patch it so it actually runs at 60 FPS.
If they do it, I'll buy it. I'm not paying it. I'm not playing it at 30. Yes, I'm a snob. Number 3, FIFA 23. Number 4, Madden 23. Number 5, NHL 23. Shout out to the NHL. Shout out to hockey. The fact that NHL 23 can place number 5 in the US, it kind of makes me want to be like, oh, you know what? I've got Game Pass Ultimate on the Xbox. I don't even know where my Xbox. It's up here. Okay. I like with Game Pass Ultimate, I think I've got EA Play. I wonder if I can play NHL 23 on there. Like I have not played a hockey game since NHL 97 on our Saturn. and it was awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It was freaking awesome. But the fact that like I just want to play it and see how it does. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope was number 6. Persona 5 was number 7. This was funny when I looked this up. It was like it jumped up to number 7 from like 297 last month.
Wow.
So good for you, Persona. Number 8, NBA 2K23. Number 9, Bayonetta 3. Number 10, Elden Ring. I'm kind of surprised Bayonetta 3 is that low, and I wonder if it's because of the whole fake controversy.
Probably.
It's interesting. When it comes to year-to-date software sales, Elden Ring is still number 1. Modern Warfare 2 is number 2. 3, Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga. Number 4, Madden 23. Everybody complains that this is like the worst Madden in years, that it is completely broken. Nothing works.
But don't they do that every year?
No, but this was on another level. Like, it's just broken. It sucks. It's the number 4 best-selling game in the US. So, number 5, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Number 6, Horizon Forbidden West. Number 7, MLB The Show 22. That which does not count Xbox sales or Game Pass downloads or anything. Number 8, FIFA 23. Number 9, Call of Duty Vanguard. Number 10, Gran Turismo 7.
Wait, it doesn't even count Xbox sales?
Yeah, because I guess the NPD can't differentiate between Game Pass downloads and then actually buying it on Xbox. So that's only PlayStation and Nintendo sales.
Gotcha.
Let's see. When it comes to hardware, PS5 was number 1 in units and dollars sold, ahead of Xbox in the US, with Switch finishing 3rd. That's interesting. But I know Nintendo's had a lot of supply issues and all that. But anything jump out to you when it comes to these nerdy sales numbers, Sean?
Not really. I'm hoping, I mean, who cares? But
I know.
I'm
me
hoping
too.
that Elden Ring holds on to number 1, can outlast Call of Duty here for this last couple months. But even if they end up number 2, that's still unbelievable for a Soulsborne game.
I mean, yeah. I'll save it. All right, Sean, time to get the wrap up. The Game Awards announced all of their nominees today. We're going to do a predictions episode when we get there. But for right now, these are the nominees for Game of the Year. And they are A Plague Tale Requiem. I don't understand why.
When are Game Awards?
December 8th or 9th or something.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess we'll have time.
You'll be back.
We'll barely have time.
Yeah. A Plague Tale Requiem. Another one of those games that it's next gen or current gen, and it runs at 30 frames per second on console, not on PC. But I'm like, really? That should not be nominated. Whatever. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray. Really?
So
everybody likes cats, I guess.
I liked Stray.
Do I
think it was one of the best 6 games this year? No, I don't even think it was one of the best 6 games that I played. And I feel like it's just, they do it every year, and there's something to be said for it. Like, there's like, we need some kind of indie game to put on the list. Yeah, it should probably be Stray. That seems like a good fit. It just seems like, just come out and say, and the honorary indie spot goes to Stray. Like, come on. It was different. I'll give it that. Up for Game of the Year.
Come on.
I don't think so.
I have it right now.
Whatever.
I have not placed God of War on my list, but if I were to put God of War on my list somewhere at the top, that would bump Stray down to number 10 on the list. That
I was going to say, Stray will probably be in the 8 to 10 range.
It'll maybe make my list.
I need to go back through and look at the games I've played, but
and I haven't even put Modern Warfare on there yet, so it's probably not even going to make my top 10. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
All right.
It's like this. We went into this year thinking it was going to be the GOAT year. And we've got Elden Ring, God of War, and Horizon, and then 3 other games that I don't care. I'm going to say it. Nobody cares about.
Yeah, James says Hades was the last indie game that I think could have arguably been Game of the Year. And Hades, I 100% agree. I didn't play it till like the year after.
Right.
But if I had played it that year, I'm trying to think of what else was out that year. That was what, 2020?
It was 2018, I think. Or 2019, maybe?
It was that long ago?
I think
maybe
so.
19.
I think it was 2019. It is leagues
depending
better
on the other
than
games
Stray.
that came out that year. It
Death
may
Stranding
have
came
been
out.
my. Oh, I had RE2 as Game of the Year, so maybe it wouldn't have been, but it would have been up.
It would have been.
Hades was just a fantastic game.
Top 3 or 4, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as good as Death Stranding. Modern Warfare 2 was the biggest Call of Duty launch ever. It hit $1 billion in just 10 days. The previous record was Blops 2 in 2012, which took 15 days to get to $1 billion. And ranked plays coming in 2023. I feel like I could have predicted this because it's got the name. It's Call of Duty, the marketing, everything. And also, most of the people that are probably, well, I don't know about most. Well, actually, yeah. Most people that are buying this game are spending $70. They're getting it on PS5, Series X or S, or PC. Also, this is the last year we're ever going to hear about this because next year it's going to be on Game Pass and it ain't going to make shit. So,
yeah.
Congrats. Kojima's unannounced game Overdose has leaked. And it leaked by a naked dude recording video of the game on his phone. And this looks like it might be a mobile game. Did you see the video?
No.
It's Margaret Qualley or whatever her name is that was Mama in Death Stranding, walking around and whatever. But then in the bottom right, there's somebody, there's like an image of somebody playing the game that's a real person. And then she like turns around. It's like, oh, you died. Game over. And then it goes, the over turns into Overdose, a Hideo Kojima game. I don't think this is his next big game. I feel like this is just a side thing. I don't think this is Death Stranding 2. I don't think it's what he's doing with Microsoft, although you never know. But yeah, there was this dude. You could see the dude. If you look it up, I don't even know if they've all been taken down at this point, Sean. It was hilarious. You got this dude with his phone, like recording the PC screen like this. And he's just sitting there in bed and he's just like topless, like, and you can see his reflection. I'm like, what the frick is happening? This is not how you announce a Kojima game, even if it's a mobile game. Like, what the hell are we doing? It looks like Final Fantasy 16 is going to be exclusive to the PS5 for 6 months and then coming to PC after that. So that's good for PC owners. Elden Ring patch files are hinting at new bosses coming as part of DLC. This could be one thing, you know, when I talk about the recency bias when it comes to God of War, and again, it might be my game of the year, I don't know yet. If they do, like, well, they'd be too late by the time the Game Awards go. But I'm saying, like, if like a week from now, they're like, Elden Ring DLC is out right now, $15, 3 new bosses, a new area, then it's like, it's back in the consciousness and everything. It should win Game of the Year. It should. I love God of War.
Yeah.
Elden Ring is unlike anything I've ever played before, but I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
The Witcher 3 is getting its current gen update finally on December 14th. Are you going to try and jump back in?
Nope.
Nope. Me neither. Remedy and 505 have announced that they are co-developing and co-publishing Control 2 for current gen and PC. I still got to go back and play. I forget. Did you play it?
I did for, I don't know, I would guess 3 or 4 hours, like a decent amount of time. And then I just stopped and I never got back into it. Like, it was fun. I really don't remember much about it at this point, but like, I don't know, it was fine. It didn't click with me the way it has with some people. Yeah. Like, it was a lot of people's game of the year when it came out. I like it, but I don't know. I guess, yeah, I'm looking forward to Control 2. I liked 1 enough that I'm at least somewhat excited for 2, but I don't know. for whatever reason, I got away from it and never came back. So
why do you still have 93 points? They've got 26 points.
It probably just hasn't updated.
Better. I mean, I've lost. Who cares? There's 6 minutes left. Who cares? I just want Washington to beat Philly. Are y'all planning to do a Ragnarok spoiler cast? I would like to, James. But
yeah, but it will be like
it's going to be that's the problem with me going out of town next week and then Sean going out of town. It's going to take forever. We might do it as a bonus episode. I think that could be fun. I would like to. I'll say that. The Nintendo Switch is now over 114 million units sold. So obviously it's going to pass PS4 here in the next, well, I'll say in the next year, it's going to pass it. The PS5 was #1 in the world in hardware sales the last quarter, winning 3.3 million units to 3.25 million from the Switch. Also, Xbox said that the series sold $800 million in revenue, whatever that means. I don't know how many units that is because you don't know who did, what sold what, but freaking Xbox. Grounded has reached 13 million players and Death Stranding has reached 10 million players. Both of these numbers really mean nothing. As much as I love Death Stranding, I think it sold 5 million between the last time we heard before it hit Game Pass between PS4/PS5 and PC. And then if it's on Game Pass, okay, like my kids could download it and then they count as a player, same with Grounded. Like saying it reached 13 million players or 10 million players, as much as I love Death Stranding, it means absolutely nothing, but whatever. The European Commission has concerns that the Activision Blizzard King acquisition will reduce competition, and they are now not expected to make a decision until March of 23.
I'm so sick of hearing about this.
Just give it to them. Just give it to them. Who cares? Move on. Call of Duty staying on PlayStation. Nothing else matters. So let's move on. I'm so sick of hearing about this crap. Just rule now and say, whatever, you get it. Nobody cares. Keep Call of Duty and nothing else matters. Speaking of that, Diablo 4 is rumored for a release date of April 2023, and it will be shown at the Game Awards, according to rumors.
Do you care, or have you moved on?
I don't know. Again, I played Diablo 3 for like an hour, and then I was like, okay, click, 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 move, click, 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 move, click, 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 move. And I was like, well, this is not what I expected. So I don't think I'll be getting it on launch, but you never know. If it's on Game Pass, then I can just download it and play it. So maybe I'll play it.
Right.
What about you?
I don't think I care.
Yeah.
I've never understood the hype of Diablo. It's exactly what you just said. I feel like it's just like, yeah, just click, 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 click. I don't care.
Yeah. Netflix announced that a Gears of War movie is coming to Netflix, as well as an animated series. Also, Sony has announced that principal photography has started on the Gran Turismo movie. We're getting out of control here. Gears of War, I get. Gran Turismo, no. I'm like Danny DeVito, like, no. PS Plus extra games for November were announced. Skyrim Special Edition, Rainbow Six Siege, god dang it, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Remix, 2.5 Remix, 2.8, whatever the hell it's called, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories or something are all coming to PS Plus. Sean, you going to go back? You going to get all those platinums? Damn it, you're going to do it.
No, I'm at least
intrigued.
No. From a platinum standpoint, no. But I do. I don't think I've got it in me to even attempt Skyrim.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six, I'm kind of curious about to see if it's at all like I remember it back in the day. I've never played any of the Oddworld games, but maybe I'll check it out. What is Torv's Chorus, whatever? Like,
it's Chorus.
I feel like I know, but I feel like I remember it. But I feel like I remember it like looking interesting, unless I'm thinking of a different game. What is that?
I have no idea. But sorry. So yeah, Oddworld Soulstorm, Division 2, Chorves, Edith Finch, and some other games. PS Plus.
You platinumed Skyrim in 40 hours? I feel like you couldn't even beat the game in 40 hours.
Well, damn. Now I kind of want to play it. PS Plus Premium gets Ratchet and Clank 2, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arse, Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction, but they're all PS3 streaming games. I'm glad.
Just to back up a notch, since I kind of overlooked it. I already did it, but you may want to look into getting the Edith Finch Platinum.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Totally.
So is it only on PS?
Game to play through again.
And it's only on PS5.
The Platinum is only on
version?
the PS5.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I got to go through the bathtub again. I don't know if I can. Ugh.
None of it was as bad the second time around.
Well, yeah, because Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that game is unlike anything else. It's so good. And last on the wrap up, Square Enix was teasing they were making a new Parasite Eve game, but actually they revealed something called Symbiogenesis, which is an NFT collectible art project.
I cannot believe we're still doing NFTs. Like, I feel like crypto is already dead.
Yeah.
And how are we still talking about new NFTs?
Because
like, these were the dumbest things ever.
Because there's dumb
they have
people.
missed the boat by like a full year at this point. Like, what? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Because
go for it, guys.
There's a lot of dumb people who will buy like a picture of a chimp and make it their Twitter profile picture like they're cool. I'm like, okay, yeah. I wonder if Tom Brady's picture on Twitter, does he still have the red like Superman eyes now that crypto is cratered? You freaking jackass. I wish Geno Smith would have kicked your ass. Not just because he's on my fantasy team, but just because I hate you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 303. Again, reminder, we will be gone next week. I'll try to figure out something the week after it. Thank you for bearing with us. Also, we owe you a Versus episode, but schedules have just been insane right now. We'll get it to you. Once we all get back from vacations, we're going to get everything up and running again. So thank you for hanging in there with us. But until the next time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.